Hey guys, Bubba here. Hey, I want to talk about what's going on in Israel, some things you may or may not be hearing about. Just shortly a while ago, Israel, the city of Elad, there on Independence Day, 3 people were killed and over 9 people were hurt, it says. At least 3 people have died and several were injured in a suspected terror attack in Israel's Elad city on Thursday when the country was celebrating its Independence Day. Basically, the attack occurred in the evening hours where many people were outside spending their time with families outdoors to celebrate the country's 74th anniversary. Local reports say that the attack was carried out by 2 men, one wielding an axe and another a gun. The assault took place in 2 different locations. The eyewitnesses said that the 2 suspects fled in a vehicle, following which the police then launched a manhunt to nab them. People were giving out treats once again there in Hamas area there in Gaza, also in the West Bank of Palestine. Several checkpoints were dispatched along the city's main roads, while police searched by helicopter for a vehicle that was seen fleeing the scene. According to I-24 News Channel, Hamas, a Palestinian Sunni Islamic fundamentalist militant group, has claimed responsibility for the attack already. In a statement, the group said that it welcomes the heroes who carried out the action that comes in the wake of Palestinian anger over the ongoing aggression of the occupation and its institutions and settlers against Al-Aqsa. This all stems from the Al-Aqsa Mosque, even going this morning, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But tensions have been so high in Israel after a wave of deadly attacks that has killed close to 20 Israelis here in the past month alone. Following this attack in Israel, a security force operation is underway to find those responsible. A number of Israelis, however, have gathered at the police cordon and remain at the scene, but there haven't been any issues so far. However, I believe that's about to change. Shortly after, later this evening, you can see in this Jerusalem market, the tensions were mounting as this guy was getting ready to go for his gun, as he was getting ready to fight between the Arabs there and the Jewish people. Israel will likely respond to Elad attack by adopting tighter security measures against Palestinians in Jerusalem and in the West Bank. This will lead to more escalation, not only in Jerusalem and the West Bank, but also around the Gaza Strip with Hamas. And just like what happened last year when the 4,000 rockets came into Israel, around this time of the year as well, in May, the Israeli court paves the way for the eviction of 1,000 Palestinians from the West Bank area. The land is to be repurposed for military use, in one of the biggest expulsion decisions since the 1967 occupation. The Israeli Supreme Court published overnight on Wednesday night, ahead of Israel's Independence Day today, and since the judge's decision was unanimous, it is not clear whether any further Israeli legal channels are available for the residents of these areas to appeal. And while the court ruling did not order evictions, should it choose to do so, Israel would now be forced to expel these Palestinians at any time. The head of the Masafar Yada Village Council said, in the end, history repeats itself. Nakba after Nakba, he said, using the Arabic term for the expulsion of Palestinians from Israel in wars surrounding the state's creation in 1948. They're mentioning Nakba Day, which comes up ironically on May 15th, which is interesting because not only do we have second Passover, the blood moon, we also have the Palestinians commemorating Nakba Day, with all kinds of craziness that happens on that day. But then you have May 14th, 1948, with Israel becoming a nation again. This thing is just a ticking time bomb in so many more ways than one right now. Just like this thread on Saturday from Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas in Gaza, said, "Do not wait for a decision from anyone. The lone wolf operations have proven to be extremely successful. Lone operations. 2 or 3 people at the most, without letting anyone know. And like it says right here, and whoever does not have a gun should prepare his cleaver, axe, or knife," which was exactly the attack type they did, with a gun and a knife. They went on then what the Hamas and Gaza-based jihadi clerics called it a heroic response to the lie of Israel's Independence Day. Okay, so remember earlier in the video when I said that Israel's going to start up in the ante and they're going to start doing their blocking and they're going to start doing their fight back for this Elad attack? Well, just a little bit ago, Israeli security officials extend the closure of Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza until Sunday, the defense ministry reported. They had closed it earlier from Tuesday until Thursday today. Well, because of this decision, the Israeli security chiefs are discussing the responses to the terror attack. Phew, okay, I know it's hard to keep up. Let me just kind of break it down for you. what has happened? This came out yesterday, and Israel closed the Temple Mount on April 15th for Ramadan. They since opened it up today, where they had a line of people, almost 1,000 people, 950 joined in to come visit. But then, before this even got going, these riots broke out, and the Palestinians were there at the Al-Aqsa Mosque as well. They ended up throwing stones again, throwing rocks at the police, starting the riots going on. Supposedly 40 Palestinians were injured. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I do know that 2 Israeli police were injured through this as well, because these riots were going and they were throwing chairs as they were blockading the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And the Israeli police were going in to clear it out, so not only could these worshipers come by the Temple Mount area, but so could the Islamic worshipers come visit their Al-Aqsa Mosque. And just like last week when the Palestinian Arab thugs were breaking out the windows and setting fires in openings like this, fireworks included, they also were hanging up full-on Hamas worship flags. And this was really starting to upset a lot of the Jews around, because they were saying, why are you, Israel, and the police allowing this to be held in our Temple Mount area? So this is a big battle going on. And as you can see, this thing is just, it could set off at any time. Today even, as they let in the Jews today, this guy tried to break out a flag. This gal here, I want you guys to watch this one. This one is nuts. To me, this lady looks like she's planted here with her whole charade and with the kids and whatnot. Almost like she's part of the controlled resistance, getting ready to stir up some trouble. Acts all sly. Keep in mind, there's police all around. You can hear the security. They're there. The police are there, actually, with these tour groups to make sure that they're safe as they go through, as they opened up today for the Temple Mount to non-Islamic people. Here we go. He's basically like, what are you doing? Yeah, radio it in. This guy's like, come on, let's go. Come on. They actually give back the flag to her. Then she tries to do it again. They were only just throwing her out of the place. Now they're full on arresting her. So this is what's going on. And, this kind of stuff does not help matters at all. And here's a video of them walking through. This is a group of religious Jews as they're walking on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the holiest and most important place in Judaism, where their first and second temples stood, soon to be their third temple as well. These Arab Muslims near the Al-Aqsa Mosque curse them, saying, dogs of Kabar, swines. This guy ends up yelling to the police, go ahead, arrest me, go for it. So as you can see, there was a lot going on today. And on today's Israel's Independence Day, one lawmaker calls to build a third temple. One Knesset member said the time has come to build a Jewish synagogue on the Temple Mount. Before ascending the Temple Mount, Ben Gvir emphasized the importance of visiting the Temple Mount, writing, Jews ascending the Temple Mount today proves that Hamas is an organization of pushovers that will easily surrender. On Israel's 74th Independence Day, it's important that government officials remember that we are an independent nation. He goes on to say that the Israeli government needs to assert full sovereignty over Jerusalem, and more specifically, the Temple Mount. He went on to say that he would act to ensure that Israeli control returns to Jerusalem and the Temple Mount specifically. This is the first time he's publicly declared this on the Temple Mount, of all things. And while it's my understanding that the actual temple will be built and the announcement will come to officially go forth here in a couple months, in August, I believe, Hamas continues to put out information like this that is causing and stirring up all kinds of factions within Israel and the areas that border surround her, like the Sinai, to the Gaza Strip, to the West Bank, to Jordan, to Lebanon, to Syria. Guys, it's all coming together. Iran's talking about attacking Israel, whereas Israel's going to attack first. And the way that all these dates are coming together was Nakba Day, the independence of Israel, May 14th, May 15th, Blood Moon, second Passover. Everything is coming together. Guys, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.